Welcome everybody to the From the Desk Principal message for September 2021, and it's great to have everybody available to me to speak to. It's also great that on the 3rd of October online learning is finished. That's a directive from the government and from KHDA, and we are going to adhere to that obviously, and we are so looking forward to having all of our students back at school ready to go. Now, if your student is unwell, if your child is unwell and not able to come to school for a couple of days, we will revert back to the pre-COVID model of providing worksheets, some guidance around revision, whatever it may be, to ensure that they don't have to stop learning during that time that they unfortunately can't get to school. But this will only be for a short period, and it won't look like it did when we were having online learning with live streaming from the classrooms. School timings are important now that we come back to school. We haven't worried about them quite so much over the last 18 months, but we can focus on that now. Please remember that 7:50 a.m. is our start time here at school. That means that we expect all the buses and the car park to be empty by 7:45 in the morning, ready so that students are inside the school, seated, ready to learn by 7:50 each day. This is really important. We've got to start this as our non-negotiable and make sure it happens immediately, because then we get the full day's learning that every child deserves, and we can be reliable at the other end of the day too. That means that the school day finishes at 2:05, then the dispersal program takes about 10 minutes to get all the buses filled up and ready to go. We're moving quite a lot of young people during that time. So about 2:15 they drive out of the school, and they will be home soon after that as we can possibly make it, given the different bus routes. So please bear with us. Families, work together, because the more reliable you are in getting the child on the bus and off the bus, and the more reliable we are in getting the timing right, the easier it is for everybody. So thank you for your good work in that area. Of course, we might have a few hiccups in the first week or so, but we are at least trying to get there as quick as possible. To that end, we had the bus survey. We put out a bus survey, and by the closing date we had about a 50% response rate, which didn't really give us enough information, so I extended that time for another 3 days, and by the time that finished we had an 85% response rate, which was absolutely fantastic, especially given that 89% of those people were all going to put their children on buses. So now we have a bit of an idea. It gives us a fighting chance to be as efficient and viable as soon as possible in the first weeks of October in getting the timing down to that 7:45 entry and 2:15 leaving times. So really appreciate all the parents' cooperation again in responding to that survey. It makes a big difference. School uniforms become more important now that we're back at school. I'm well aware of some hiccups around the vendor and with sizing, supply and all of those sorts of things, and some tracksuit pant issue. We can show some leniency around that, but what we won't show any leniency around is the things that are controllable by families, like what shoes the children wear, what tights they wear, what socks they wear, what jewellery they wear. All of those things are well and truly in your control. We expect them to meet the standards that everyone is well aware of with our uniform here at school. Vaccination entry. With KHDA have a guideline that says anyone who enters the school for any reason must show us their vaccinations have been done, evidence of that, or a PCR test that is current. Now, what we've done is put a system together where when you talk to Shaquille, our security guard at the front gate, if he sees evidence that you have the vaccination, he will provide you with a document that you can put into your parent's ID, and that means that we can let you come in a better, easy manner from any time after that. So we only need to cite it that one time, and then we'll have a model available to us to know you are acceptable to come into the school, which will make life easier for everybody. So please provide that, otherwise it gets a bit embarrassing if we can't let you come into the school, but we must stick to those guidelines until we're told differently, and let's hope that's as soon as possible as well. Just want to say welcome to the AMLA students publicly. There are now currently 6% of our population. They were, unfortunately, the school in AMLA closed abruptly, and these students came across to our school. They were transitioned in really quickly and smoothly. They're all thriving as far as I can see, and we are really pleased to have you on board and can't wait for you to become Springdalians rather than from AMLA in the future. So welcome aboard. Half-yearly exams are coming up. They start on the 21st, which is next couple of days, and they finish on the 5th of October. Most parents will have information about that. We expect our students to get into here. They will be, the only change you'll see is that they will be finished their day in time to get the 12 noon bus, which again will take about 10 minutes to load up and get out of the school, but they'll be home a little bit earlier during that period of time because exams are on for the entire school. So that will happen. After that, we have the PEP program that we're working on at the moment. That's the program after school for interest. It's going tentatively. We've set a date for the 18th of October and it will run for 6 weeks. We will get more information to you in the next week or so when we nail down all of the things that children want to do, what's going to be popular, what's not going to be so popular, and how we can best make this work for you. But there will be a PEP program of some kind during that time. So excited to be getting back to traditional schooling. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And remember, Springdales is where young minds learn to think.